Not that that
Hello,
makes.
everybody.
Hi.
Ah, I feel like we just screamed that. Hi.
Hello, hello. Is that better?
Here we go. And we're off.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, there. Oh, thank you.
Okay. I was like, can you see it?
I can. It's big
Okay.
enough.
Okay, glad. Oh my goodness.
So,
Okay,
how's
well,
things? I haven't seen you in what? I don't know, 24 hours?
no, we didn't actually get to Zoom yesterday.
Oh, I guess I'm counting the
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 live.
live. Sorry.
Oh no, you can count that. It's okay. You saw me,
Yeah.
I just didn't see you.
Yes. Okay. I'm counting the live.
It was a one-sided sighting. Yeah.
Well, so everybody, please don't mind the mess that's at the back of me. I did went through a whole bunch of bins yesterday that were in the basement, and because I'll give you long and short of it is I was looking for all my composite notebooks that I had done. Do you think I could find any of them? I couldn't find any of them, Steph. And I was starting to panic. I'm thinking, am I going to go and have to make these books
No.
for my table mates? Because that's what I was putting
Yeah.
in the bags, right? And anyway, long and short of it is they weren't down the basement. I pulled up a whole bunch of stuff from the basement to my desk.
Because why
Okay.
not?
Well, why not? I don't have a big enough mess up here. I need to add to it, right? Um, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, where is it? And I went out to the car because there's still a few things in the car that I don't really need to have to plan or to do my stuff. So I'm bringing it in slowly, right? I went out there, I searched it high and low, nothing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this? I know I took a whole bunch of them down from there.
Hmm.
So I'm sitting there watching YouTube and I'm thinking, and it hits me. It's in my closet. So I pull everything away from the closet. Sure enough, there was a whole tub of them. Oh, hallelujah, sister, because
Right?
I was thinking of I am not making nothing. I'm going to the store and I'm going to put something in bags because I am not sitting here the last 2 days before I have to go making stuff.
So where are you going again for our listeners and viewers?
Oh, the PlannerCon A planner conference in Ontario. So I'm so excited. I get to see a whole bunch of people that I know and a whole bunch I can find out who they are. And, you know, sometimes you chat with people and you've never met them. So that's going to be that. And yeah, I'm so excited. It's like thrilling.
I cannot say the name of that.
PlannerCon, eh?
Yeah, I can, the A is what gets me. I mean, I can say A, but I feel like it just comes out like the letter A.
That's all it is.
I know, but
It's,
it just sounds weird to my
well,
American ears.
we're a bunch of weirdos up here.
Oh, we're weirdos down here too, so like I think we're weird everywhere. Oh my gosh, that hurt. My paper's trying to hurt me. That was
I
weird. It was just like a little writing pad, and it was I guess the way I was leaning on it, and like
pinched you.
I guess. Oh no. Anyway, oh, it has been it's been a week. So I went to the retreat, got back from the retreat, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was a great retreat. Did we ever talk about this last time? I don't even know. I don't think so. I
No, I
think I
think
was
you talked about going.
going.
You
Okay.
talked about getting ready to go.
I met so many amazing and talented other crafters and junk journalers, and it was really nice. So many
Yeah.
goodies. Like these people are talented. So there was only 36. So instead of doing a table mate gift, we just did gifts for like the whole 36. I would say gifts, but you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. A little trinkets.
let my hands do all the talking.
Oh, now I fully understand.
Okay, great. I'm done. Anyway, so there was just a lot of different things to go through, and it was a deal. So
Okay, but I want to know, how was it run well? Was there things? I know you're planning on doing one,
I
which
am
is fully exciting, but
so exciting.
yeah. I mean, obviously you probably learned
I learned a
a
lot.
few things.
I
Yeah.
learned a lot. So here's my biggest takeaways. One, there was zero agenda. We
Yeah.
did not know from 1 minute to the next what we were doing. We didn't know when breakfast, lunch, or dinner was. We didn't know what we were going to be crafting, or what, you know what I'm saying, what
Yeah.
time. There was no agenda. And
Oh,
I
I
think
can't I can't do that. I
it
need an
was
agenda.
it was overwhelming because you're just stuck in limbo and waiting for
Yeah.
instruction. And I don't do well like that, especially when I'm around a bunch of people I don't know, or it was very overwhelming.
Well, I'm like you. I'll look at the agenda, see what's coming up, and then slowly prepare for that.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Not
yes.
just, okay, we're going to go to lunch and then get up and leave everything on your desk. Like, you know what
No,
I mean? Like,
I am not a fly by the seat of my pants kind of gal.
no.
I like to know what's coming. I like to at least be mentally prepared.
Yeah.
um it was very fast paced for no reason. Like, I
Yeah.
can't figure out why we were just like, okay, boom, 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 and da da da. And it was just like, um, you know, it wasn't a bad experience. I just felt like it could have been better.
Yeah.
Um, but I learned a lot of what I don't like
Yeah.
and how I want that to be different for my own.
Yeah.
There will be an agenda. You will know when you're eating and what you're eating.
Yeah.
You will know when we're crafting and what that looks like. And also too, the day we got there, it was incredibly overwhelming. Like, it's like, get your sleeping arrangements all fixed, because we had to bring our own bedding and stuff. So we had to
Hmm.
make our beds and get everything and pass out our swaps. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Pass out our swaps, and everybody had already passed out their swaps. So that's 36 people. So you can imagine our little craft area had 36 different swaps just piled on top, like, of your whole craft area.
Where you're
So
sitting?
yeah, like where we're sitting. So at my little
Oh,
table, right? So Rochelle and I shared like a 8 foot table, right? So we had about 4 feet, which sounds like a lot, but it's really just not.
no, not when you have
Um,
stuff.
4 feet, and it was already piled high with all these wonderful swaps and the things that we were going to be doing during the retreat. And by the time I got to sit down, I and then they were like, okay, well, it's time to eat. Huh. Like, where? Because everything happened in that same exact place. So where you crafted is where you
Oh,
ate, is where, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I was already like flustered because it was a long day of driving, and we stopped and shopped, and then I had to come
yeah.
and unpack and get all the things set up, and you know what I mean? So I'm already
Yeah.
like flustered, and there's no agenda, so it just, surprise, it's time to eat.
So, so let me ask you this question. And I'm just curious how it works. So if there's no agenda sent to you, meaning you don't know really what you're making or what projects you're doing, how do you know what to bring with you? Like, do they supply everything for that project, or
They
like, how does that
did.
work? Oh,
So
okay.
like, it was the whole project, whatever we were working on, was in like a Ziploc bag. So
Hmm.
everything you needed for that project, I mean, minus the glue, like they did tell you, bring scissors, bring glue,
Okay.
the basics.
Yeah.
But everything was provided to a point. And I'm going to say that, everybody has their own style. So
Hmm.
the person who was teaching this has her own style, and that's how things are taught. which is totally different than my style.
And
So
you do things differently.
I do.
Yeah.
But I knew that well enough about myself, so I dang near packed half my craft room. Like all my inks. How many is that? One, two, three, four, five, six. 6 times 3 is what? A lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. uh, uh, 6 times 3 is a lot. That's how many inks that I brought of my own. And I did like the whole little shelf thing that they're on. I took that whole thing with me and just set it on my craft space.
Oh my
my
gosh.
little uh my little turnaround thing that has all my tools in it. I brought that too. And I'm glad I did because that was the one constant. Like I
Hmm.
knew where my stuff was, I knew what I wanted. I
Right.
knew, so that was a good thing. But no,
Wow.
we had no idea. It was, fly by the seat of your pants. But
Because okay, so I'm going to go back to the question of did you on the agenda, did you know what you were making to be, and I'm asking this because if I come to yours, I can't obviously travel with all my stuff.
no,
So I need to know, are we going to make shabby chic envelope? Well, I'm going to pack some shabby chic stuff. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So you had no idea what you were actually making in order to pack. You literally
no,
packed. Okay.
no.
Okay, now I understand.
I took all, my little case of flowers that I have. I
Yeah.
took that whole sucker. I took the whole thing. All my little hardware pieces took the whole thing. I just literally took I took
Took. Yeah.
everything. um
Man, you really took a lot.
I took a lot because I had no idea. I
Yeah.
mean, and that causes me anxiety, the not
Yeah.
knowing. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna pack everything. And I did. And I
Yeah.
will say I used quite a bit of what I packed.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh, it was just sitting there and I didn't use it. I
Right.
used quite a bit. Like I one of the big flowers that are on the journal that I made. But again, we had no idea.
Hmm.
No idea whatsoever what we were
Yeah.
gonna make. Um, and that may work for some people. And you know what? God bless you. God bless you for being able to just roll with
Wing
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I honestly sometimes I really do envy people who can just be okay with that.
Yeah.
It stresses me right the heck out.
Yeah. I like to be prepared.
I
I
love
like to
to.
know, okay, so here we are, we're going to make XYZ, and then, okay, so I can bring, like, I don't need to bring my whole craft area,
Nope.
but I want to be able to bring stuff to, and, make that my own, that project my own.
Yes,
But I have to know what the project is in order to be able to do that.
right.
I can't just wing it and say, okay, let's just bring my whole little scrap area and make something like on the fly. I am not talented that way. And, no.
I mean, I can like I made it my own um using the items provided and there was like a big D stash. I mean, there was so much D stash. So sometimes I would just go to the D stash table and go find like I needed scripts. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? For what was in my mind, I needed
yeah.
like little word scripts and I didn't bring my Tim Holtz word scripts. So I just went to the D stash table and rummaged through. I didn't find any scripts, but I found alpha letters that were small. So I just brought
Yeah.
those back and then made my own script. You know what I'm saying? To put
Yeah.
where I needed it. So that was helpful. But no, I will be doing my retreat for all of those who need to know and want to know. You will know. Like you this to
Yeah.
me it's not about, oh, I want you to be surprised. This isn't Christmas, right?
No.
This isn't a gift. This is a retreat that you're paying for and I want you to know.
Well, I don't like surprises
I don't
either
either.
because what happens if I don't like the surprise? I can't fake it.
I know,
If
right? Be
someone
like, huh.
surprises me, I'm like, what the hell is that? That's not what I want.
That's not what I paid for. What the
I don't like
heck?
that great big honking diamond ring. I wanted the small little one. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Yeah. So,
So it was but all that aside, I met some amazing women
Yeah, that's the best.
and I made new friends and it really helped my business a lot and it gave me a boost of confidence if nothing
Mm-hmm.
else. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So to see that people, all my business is online. And aside from, the handful of people that I talk to on Zoom or whatever, most of
Mm-hmm.
my customers are just people out there
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
wild. Like
In
I
the
don't know who
wild.
they are.
That's good.
So,
That's good.
um, but now, seeing them and them being, oh my God, when are you going to have that? Or I love that, that it really helped me and it whatever, my confidence and
That's
what I'm
awesome.
doing.
That's
So
awesome.
that was the best part for me.
Yeah,
Was
that's awesome. That's exciting.
that.
Well, I'm excited to finally be able to head to Texas and
Me too. Oh my
um
gosh.
I'm nervous about it to be honest because I've never done this sort of thing before, but and I'm so far away from home, I'm not going to have my creatures of crafting stuff with me. So I'm like,
We'll figure it out.
oh, I
Whatever you
know.
need, whatever you need, I assure you I have and we will take.
Yeah.
So you'll be all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Lori and I gonna be hanging.
Hanging,
Hanging out. God, I can't
wreaking
make up my
havoc
mind.
at Hobby Lobby and Bucky's, and
Oh my gosh,
there's a whole
all
list
the
of places I need
places,
to go.
right? She's gonna have her little check off list. Done, done, done.
There
Yep.
better be freaking coupons too.
Oh, I'm gonna Joann's. We're gonna go to
I want to
Joann's
use a
and we're gonna
coupon for the first time.
for the first time ever.
We'll do a story on it. Look at Lori out in the wild using a
Using a
coupon.
coupon. Oh, we'll go to Joann's and you can stack them. So you can do like
Stack them. What does that mean?
you can use multiple coupons at one time.
No, really?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Oh my gosh. You guys have it made, eh?
Well, and some things, yes.
Well, okay. I'm talking about the crafting world, not
Okay,
the.
the crafting world, yes, we have it. I would say we have it pretty darn good.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
do.
complaints because I can find almost anything I need in the wild. Sorry,
Are we
it's
keeping you awake?
no, it's I don't know. I can't stop yawning. That is a disease. That is a thing. It's a condition, not a disease. It's a condition. I have a condition, a lot of them.
It's something to do with your diaphragm.
Okay.
That's what I was told. When you yawn a lot, you're something to do with your diaphragm.
Well, maybe if I wouldn't like sit like
You
this and squish it.
don't short breathe. Take breaths.
That's my problem is I'm a shallow breather. And so,
Oh, so that makes more sense. Shallow breathing rather than short breathe.
yes.
You know,
There's a long breath.
if you guys can follow me, I give you kudos, okay? Because
I can
I'm
follow you
starting
and do what you meant.
the odd thing when couple years back it was the odd word here and there. Now it's a few words here and there that I'm making up. Now I'm making up whole sentences all by myself.
Your whole language. You
Jeez
have
Louise.
that's okay. Half the time I can't even speak. So I try to talk. It's like yeah.
So what is on our agenda today?
Our agenda.
Something that was so hard.
Okay,
I'm
for
not
real
gonna.
though.
It was really hard.
So our topic of conversation is like all things inspirational, feel good stories, that kind of thing. I know they're out there, but trying to find it was much more challenging than I thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely. I had a hard time.
Well, I found a few, but they were like it was a book. I
A
swear, it was just
book.
so
Yeah,
freaking long,
exactly. They're
which
not
is it was an
little
amazing
stories.
story, but it's like, okay, we need some little meat and potato kind of
Yeah,
things.
short and sweet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to
Now, do you
read
want to
a
start off
novel.
with maybe how wonderfully inspirational we are? Oh my God, I couldn't even say that.
So
100%.
ridiculous. I'm pretty
My
sure.
name's Lori Dean Plans, and I'm inspirational in nothing.
Go. Yes, you are.
Dead air.
Your videos are very inspirational.
Okay.
They are. Okay, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm not even gonna compliment you. Your videos suck. There, is that
Oh,
better?
thanks. Oh, that just validates me right there. Thank you. I know.
Stop it. They do not.
Ah, I'm joking. This is jesting. I'm
Yes,
jesting.
I know.
I'm
And
being
so am I.
inspirationally jester. What the
Wait,
hell was that? Okay. Look,
I
this at
just
this point, this is where you go back it up because that beep beep a beep was a disaster.
wait, I just had this vision of you dancing around like a court jester with the
Oh yeah, because my knee joints are gonna let me dance.
little hey. Oh my gosh. It was my vision, okay? Your knees are fine in my vision.
Oh well, that's nice.
Oh,
Good
that
to
was too
hear.
funny. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well,
So,
I'm going to start with one
uh,
inspirational story just because it's kind of fresh in my mind and I wrote it down very quick. So I want to make sure I at least try to remember it.
okay,
So,
go.
okay. Um, 5 things to know. This is inspirational, kind of not a story, but a quote, but 5 things you need to know in life. Put yourself in someone else's hands. Embrace challenges for growth. Learn from your mistakes, value your inner qualities, and leave a positive mark.
I'm
There you go.
I'm not sure about putting myself in someone else's hands.
Well, apparently what it does, it makes you trust and it gives you that I don't know how they explained it in this great big long version of a story, but at the end of the day, it makes you trust others and therefore it gives you something in return. I don't know what it is. I can't remember if it was,
Well, apparently we haven't done it, otherwise you would
yeah,
know what it is.
I trust nobody.
I trust my husband for the most part. Like there's always that caveat, right? Like I trust him. Like I
Oh,
know
yeah.
he would never like do any harm. I know all of that. You know what I'm saying? But do I trust that he's going to do everything my way? Because I can't even say the right way because that's irrelevant. No, I can't say that I do. So I don't
See,
know how
and
that
that's the
works.
thing. There's not a full, like, fully trusts.
Yeah.
And I don't think in anyone, to be honest. I, and I agree with you. I trust my husband implicitly. But like you say, there's always that little bit of, if something comes up, I shake my head and I go, okay, how's this going to work? How is he gonna,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And prime example is this. So we're going on a family cruise in December. Now my whole family we're going. Okay. Now we talked about this at great length that well, you know where I'm going with
I
this,
do
Steph.
already. I haven't even
Okay.
heard the story and already know.
We have talked about this at great length. We want everyone to have a great time. We want to enjoy everybody's company. We want them to have great memories because we probably won't be going on a family vacation ever again in our lifetime.
Right. And I
Okay.
get that.
And, but then I have that little worry because my husband is a little bit of an aggravator. He likes to stoke.
Yes. So does mine.
So he'll make random comments thinking he's funny, but he's not funny. Okay. So when I say, do I trust him with my life? 100%. What's the matter?
I was wondering why it was so hot. It's because my fan's
Oh,
not moving.
oh, I see. So do I trust him with my life? 110%. but it's the little things in life that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he'll be quite behaving himself. There you go.
Right. I got it. I know
So,
Kenny loves to pick at me because he thinks it's funny when I get all riled up.
yeah. Yeah.
You just
And that's the thing. So I don't know, he makes flippant comments and I can't even think of anything off the top of my head. Okay, here's one. He'll
that was
probably,
so fast.
no, because I know what he's going to do. He always picks on Megan, right?
Yeah.
So I bet you any money our first beach or pool and, she has her bathing suit and right away he'll make a comment. I thought you were going to wear a good bathing suit. That shows everything. Ah, he thinks he's funny, but that's not funny. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, like,
That
God
makes her
loves a guy.
self-conscious.
Well, see, that's the thing. He doesn't realize that's what it's going to do. He just thinks
Right.
everyone's going to chuckle because in his head, it's funny. He's making a joke, but that's not. See, that's the thing. He has a warped sense of what is funny, especially in his mind.
I was gonna say
It,
he's a legend in his own mind.
oh, in his mind, he should be on the stage. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's just
Oh,
little. So I worry about stuff like that because I've tried to have the conversation with him and I've tried to say, look, that stuff is going to deter from everybody's enjoyment, especially if you hurt somebody's feelings unwillingly and unknowingly. But you don't want to send someone if you want them to have good memories and have fun, just shut the cake hole. Just, go with the flow,
not
have
everything
fun.
needs a comment.
Right. You don't need to comment on everything. So, anyway, how did I get off on that subject? Was that
I don't know.
trusting? Put yourself in someone else's hands.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Not not fully.
Not fully.
I was gonna say something and I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
It's okay. Inspirational stories. So before I start reading off other people's inspirational stories, I have a few of my own experiences.
At you.
I know. Well, okay. They're experiences that I experienced with other people. Because
Oh,
let's face it, I can be kind. I am a kind person.
you're a very kind person.
I'm not a people person. So I don't necessarily. So, for example, mom would talk to anybody and everybody, whether they wanted to be talked to or not. She did not
Mhm.
care, right? She was having conversations with the people in the waiting room and the elevator next to the vending machine, like wherever we were, mom was talking to whoever was out there. Um, and I'll never forget. So the one time we were in the elevator going up to one of her doctor's appointments, and the gentleman got on, and you could tell he was just in rough shape, like emotionally. He was just not doing well. And mom touched his arm and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And she's like, "Well, you just look, really sad." And he's like, I lost my wife, this whole sob story. And mom's just, talking to him and all of that kind of stuff. And I am sitting in the back of the elevator going, "Hi."
This
Oh,
is
when it
the
was just like
the
pulling
sensitive.
at my heartstrings, and I'm just like, oh, dang it, like, but she's like, "Well, God bless you, I'm praying for you," and da da da, like all that. And he's like, "Thank you so much." Like it really meant something to him that somebody
Sure
just
did.
noticed
Yeah.
and talked to him. Because when you're grieving and when you're going through things, it's not that you want to talk about it, but it's nice when
No.
someone recognizes that you're struggling, I guess.
Hmm.
You feel seen. She would tell every person, "Oh, your hair's so beautiful, blah blah blah." And she was not a quiet lady. Like she'd just be like, "Oh, your hair's so beautiful." No,
Yeah.
"Oh, your hair's just so gorgeous. How do you get it?" Like, oh, oh, oh. I mean, just
Oh, good for
like,
her.
oh. And me, the like antisocial introvert, I'm just like, but she did. She made a lot of people feel really good all the time. She made me feel amazing. Baby
Yeah.
girl, I just love you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Baby girl, come give me, can I just give you a hug? Just but it made you feel all loved and warm
Yeah.
and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Um, and my husband got that from her. So I call her mom. She was my mom. I don't care what anybody says, but it was
Yeah.
actually technically Kenny's mother, it was my
Yeah.
mother-in-law. But he inherited that from her
Oh, that's
because he'll
nice.
he'll just randomly talk to people in the store. I'm not kidding you. That man will talk to somebody in the store, and I have to walk around for like 20 minutes doing nothing because he's just in the aisle doing whatever.
Wow.
One time he saw a homeless person walking down like the main road where we are. He came home, like he noticed that his shoes were just awful and his clothes were awful. He actually came home, went and through his closet, got a bunch of stuff, and went back and took it to the man.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I mean, he does that kind of stuff. He told me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, there was a homeless man outside of a convenience store. So when he went in to get his stuff, he got him like some protein bars and some water and stuff like that to give to the
Right.
guy. So he would have
Right.
something.
Well,
That's
that's
really
sweet.
nice. That is very nice. So
Very.
now my random acts of kindness are if you get into a wreck and I see it, I will pull over and help you because that is my thing. Like that's my thing. I'm like, I'm gonna run into a burning building for you. You don't
Dr.
need
Stephanie
water.
on the way. I'm going to tell you what you need.
I am. Tell all these other people leave you alone before they start ripping you out of a car.
I know.
That's crazy. So that's me. That's how I do things. Whereas my husband does the little things, but I'm there for you know, the big things. So
Me
there's a
too.
few. There's a few of my own personal experiences with random acts of kindness, generosity, taking care of humanity, I guess. You know what I'm saying on all the different levels.
So, as we were talking earlier, excuse me, it's hard if you are a kind person at heart. I find it very difficult to remember things that you've done
That's true.
over your lifetime to be, random acts of kindness or this or that. I do try to do random acts of kindness whenever I can. Little things like paying for the car behind me, or, I volunteer at the Lions Club and do, all kinds of stuff for the community.
That is an act of kindness, big
So
time.
that there's that. And, it is so inspiring to see people who are in need, especially at Christmas time when we're doing the hampers. Um, it's so inspiring to see, uh, you know, people coming and like even after they've gotten their boxes and their food and whatever, and thank you so much. That got me through Christmas and I didn't know what I was going to do. And like it breaks your heart, but it makes you happy that we were a part of something that helps.
Yes.
So there's that. The other thing I think that sticks out in my mind was we were selling tickets at Christmas time at our local Walmart, and this elderly lady, I was just walking by and I heard her go, "Oh, I'm short. Oh no, okay, let me see what I can put back." And I thought, I'm not having that. So I walked up, I said, "How much you short?" And she told me the amount. For the life of me, I can't remember anymore what it was. It was not a lot. And
Right.
I said to the cashier, I said, "I'll pay." And she looks at me and she goes, "Really?" I said, "Really? Let me pay." And so I paid, and she wrote a great big letter to the Lions Club because I had my vest on and everything,
Oh
right? So
yeah.
she knew I was from the Lions Club. And it's that kind of stuff that I get a kick out of personally because it's a feel good kind of thing to know, especially when they're elderly. I
That's
get
me.
so attached to the elderly because I think they're, you know, not to take
Vulnerable.
this, well, they're so vulnerable and they're so hard. They, it's hard to be old
Yes.
nowadays because if, like, I don't know, you could work all your life here in Canada and I'm going to say it, immigrants get more money a month than the people who actually work their whole entire life here. And it's so frustrating.
Hmm.
And, and I'll even go so far as to talk about my own father. He we pack food for him, we save food for him. We take we literally take down almost a car full of food at grocery store. I save points so that I can buy him food at the grocery store, and every 2 weeks to 3 weeks, depending on how much we've taken, we take him down food because he can't get out. He
Yeah, it's
can't get
hard.
out to go and do grocery shopping, and he doesn't want me to have it delivered to him, so we deliver it. And people will say, well, yeah, it's your dad, of course you're going to do that. But do you know how many people don't do that for
Don't.
their parents?
Yep.
There's people, old age people in old age homes that never get a visit from their kids.
Never. I
Like,
know.
it's disgusting.
It's
Anyway, I could
heartbreaking.
go on a whole tangent about that
We're
stuff,
supposed to be
but
talking about inspirational
I know, and
stories.
Lorie just goes right down into the gutter. Well, I'm the whole point of all that was it's it's inspiring to me to help people like that. That's what gives me all kinds of
The feel
warm,
goods.
fuzzy feels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
I'm the
food.
same way. Like if I am in a grocery store, I'm aware of the elderly. I'm
Hmm.
aware of the people who can't reach something or that
Yes.
look confused or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I am very aware, just like I'm very aware of little kids and then you don't see a parent around. Like it's
Yes.
obvious
100%.
they have snuck off, which
Yeah.
is so easy to do.
Yeah.
And I am definitely not judging the parent because it has happened to me as a parent.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm very aware. So if I see that, I will stand and wait until a parent or they, you know what I'm saying, they are reunited before I will leave that
Up
child.
and leave. Yeah. But see, and then a lot of people would just walk by. So there's there's always those people, I think, that are like you, and then there's not.
Yeah.
So we you know I'm just happy that there's people on the earth that still care for others,
Yep.
right?
I do my best. I do my bestest.
Well, those pearly gates are going to be shining for you when you go through.
Let's hope.
Well, I know they will for
Okay.
me.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm trying to look at one of the stories. Oh my goodness.
I'm going to see if I got another one here. Oh, okay. So I got a small one. Okay. So this is called A Story of Jerry.
Okay.
Okay. So he was a restaurant. And again, this is snippets from a story. It's not the full story. It's just the main snippets. But the restaurant owner in New York City, and his staff loved him. He was the best boss. If he ever moved from one restaurant to another, they would follow him. They would leave the new owner's establishment and go and, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And follow him. And somebody asked him one day, why do you think you have this, you know, huge respect from people? And he goes, I don't know. He said, I just try to be kind every single day. And and the guy said to him, okay, but how do you do that on a consistent basis? He said, every single morning you have a choice. You have a choice to be in a good mood. You have a choice to be in a bad mood. You have a choice to be kind, or you have a choice to be nasty. You like
Everything's a
everything in
choice.
life is a choice.
It is.
And the more you choose for the good side of things, the positive side of things, the better you're going to be in your life. And one time the he forgot to lock the back door of his establishment, and three burglars came in and were robbing him.
Oh no.
And he was trying to talk to them. And as he was doing it, he fumbled on the what do you call it? What's that thing on the dial on the safe? Anyway, the dial,
Yeah.
the lock, and they shot him and ran. Luckily, someone from the store came in and he got to the hospital, and but the whole way through he said he had a positive thing that everything was going to be okay because everybody around him was saying, "You're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay." And he said, and then we get to the hospital and the doctors are, don't worry, we've got you. Everything's going to be okay. And he said and by that time, I'm feeling very good about everything. I'm feeling like everything's going to be okay. So I, let my guard down a little bit. And someone said, one of the nurses, "Sir, are you allergic to anything?" And he said, at that moment, I cracked a joke and said, "Yes, bullets." And he said everybody in the operating room laughed, and he ended up coming out fine. And he never forgot to lock the doors
I bet
again.
not.
But that's the kind of inspirational kind of story that I found that I thought was really, really nice.
That
And
is
it had a
very
good
nice.
meaning about waking up every day and deciding that
And it is a
you have a
choice.
choice in life.
And I try really hard to be a positive person.
Yeah.
It is hard sometimes because the
It
world's not a
is.
positive place. So
But do you
I try.
find, and again, I'm going on to the not so positive, but don't you find when you're not positive that everything else looks
Yes.
bleak? Like everything. So I do gather, like, I notice when I'm in a snit about something, everything else around me is, I can't handle. Like it's
It's
almost
like a
like
cloud.
it's affected everything in my life, not
Yeah.
just that one thing.
Oh, it's a cloud. Well, because it feeds,
Yeah,
right? It just perpetuates into and it just leaches over. But the same thing with something good and happy, right? So if something
right.
as good is happening to you, it's leaching out
Yeah,
around you. So you have a great day. Like, even if an irritant does happen, you're like, oh, no big deal. You know what I'm saying?
hmm,
But the opposite, if you're having a bad day, it just goes from bad to worse.
yeah.
So negativity it's a strong force.
So that internal talk you have with yourself is, okay, I can let this thing aggravate me to the point where it's affecting everything I do today, or I could just let it go. And I'm going to sneeze.
Okay, I've been yawning the whole time, so sneeze. Please do something to take the pressure off of me and looking like had pulled an all-nighter. I haven't.
Well, the first thing is I can't keep rubbing my nose. That like the hairs are dangling and making my nose itchy. Because last time that's all I did. I was going. It's a wonder I didn't break my stupid nose.
I'm gonna rub it off.
But I find these headphones. I don't know what they do, but they're just they're not conducive to my haircut.
It's a ruining my
Oh,
style, man. It's ruining my style.
but on the positive side, it looks pretty. There you go.
Way to
Let's
turn that
take,
around.
right? I had my inner thing is like, okay, Lorie, put a spin on that one quick.
Oh my gosh. Practice what you preach
Right?
right now while everyone's watching.
Well, everyone's watching and listening. Okay, well, I didn't write any more down because to be honest, that was a difficult task.
I know I would have thought it'd been easier. So I have not read this story, so we're gonna read it together. It is a short one. And we'll see, get a little ticker up and see how many times Stephanie yawns while she's freaking reading this thing. It's so frustrating. Okay.
Do you really want me to do a ticker? I'll take
No.
a count.
No. I think that'd put me into a state of depression. Be like, oh my
Oh,
God.
jeez.
All right. I recently moved to New York City and decided to take a bike ride from Hudson Yard to Brooklyn. I have no idea where these places are, but good for him. With navigation instructions playing in my ear, I followed the prompts and approached the Brooklyn Bridge. And I do know that's a big bridge and it's scary. Bridges are scary. Anyway, the navigation directed me to turn left onto the bridge, and without a second thought, I complied because, hello, Google, telling me what to do. Seconds later, I found myself on a 6-lane highway surrounded by cars speeding past at over 60 miles per hour. Fear gripped me as I realized the gravity of my mistake. There was no shoulder to stop on, no way to turn around, and the mere thought of falling was terrifying given the risk of being hit by a car. The only option was to continue going straight, avoid falling over. Terrified, I pedaled as fast as possible on the highway. Can you imagine 60 miles an hour and you're trying to pedal to keep up with cars?
Yeah.
I'd have just been like, I'm done. I'm out.
Oh, I'd be done too. There'd be no way.
um, I pedaled as fast as I possibly could on the highway. Cars started swerving around me, honking with people yelling abuses out of their window. I
Aw.
started hitting potholes, gripped the handlebars, the handles of the bike, praying that I didn't fall. About a quarter of the way across the bridge, a man pulled up beside me in his car. He's like, "What are you doing?" He shouted through his window, seemingly frustrated. I started to anticipate a terrible outcome, and I responded, "I made a mistake. I have to keep going," I shouted back, struggling to keep my concentration on the road. Seeing the panic on my face, he quickly understood my predicament. "I'm going to make sure you get across," he reassured me. True to his word, he swerved behind me, turned on his hazards, followed me at 30 miles per hour all the way across the bridge. What should have been a 5-minute journey felt like an eternity. Finally, as I reached the end of the bridge, I glanced back to see him taking an exit. I never saw the stranger again. This harrowing experience was a powerful reminder of the inherent goodness in people. To the person who risked their own safety to protect mine, I am profoundly grateful.
Wow. See, that's nice, eh?
That, but that is what people should do.
Yeah.
Okay, you can be upset, and you don't know how he ended up where he is, but he's there now, and you screaming at him is not going to help him be any better.
Well, you're absolutely right. And the thing of it is you never know. Okay, so I watch these shows with Karens. There are a whole bunch of Karens just going off. But you never know when you're dealing with people what they're going through in
Sure.
their life,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a little bit of grace probably will go a long way, especially if not for them, for your sanity,
Uh-huh.
right? Because I know, honestly, I can engage and be all kinds of Karen right back, but that's too exhausting for me.
Yep.
I'm like do I really want to deal with this? And I can honestly say, well, I, I can honestly say I would try to do the whole thing about being, okay, you know what? You're you're obviously going through something, so I'm just walking away.
Just walk away,
Walk away.
which is easier said than done sometimes.
It is, and that's the thing. I can't, like I said, 100% certainty. Well, you know what? Depending on the situation, if my grandchild was there, who's 19, he could probably defend himself, but I'd be all over that, like,
White on rice.
right?
Yeah, I know. Me
I'd have
too.
my what do you call this? My little crocodile thing, and I'd be like, get away from him.
I know. My husband is a much, this is why I don't people. And most of the time it's because I barely have a handle on my own emotions a lot of times.
Hmm.
And I know this about myself.
Yeah.
So it's in everybody's best interest that I just don't go anywhere. Um,
Look at
because
another random act of kindness on your
I
part.
know, right? Like, if you only knew, me staying at home is helping the whole world. Um,
World.
because when I do go out and it's like little irritants, and I don't know why. I don't know why some of these things just irritate me beyond comprehension, but
Mm.
they do. And my husband is just like, babe, he's like, they're like, we were at a fast food restaurant, Whataburger, and I could tell the whole freaking store was in training. Like,
Oh,
everybody was in training. And I was frustrated because I just was. And my husband's like, babe, they have to learn. It's like, I know they have to learn, but do they have to learn when I come in? Like, can it be any other time that they
I want
learn?
the expert here now.
I don't want to have to deal with people and learning. And so he's like, he's like, what do you want? And I told him. And then I went and sat down. So I would be a good little girl and not be all up in my weird headspace
Yeah.
because I was irritated. I I don't know why. It's not their fault. Of course they were training. I mean, everybody has to start somewhere, and I totally get that. It just was not sitting well with me. So my husband, being the kind person that he is, and these poor people just don't even know, I went and sat down. He ordered my food, and we were all
So,
good.
a cute little story. I don't know if it's good on my part or my family's, but so when my now daughter-in-law was coming around and
Oh
visiting with
gosh.
us, and we were telling stories about Scott and all the things, and so she goes, okay, well, I want to hear a story about your mom. Okay, let's just have that sink in for a second,
No,
okay?
I
Because,
my heart would have been like, "What?
well, that's what
No."
in my head I'm thinking, okay, let's not, okay?
Let's
But I thought, no, you know what? I want to hear what he has to say. So he says, well, my mom's the best mom on the face of the earth.
Aw.
I thought, okay, we're going in the right direction,
All right. So far, so
right?
good.
But I feel a but coming. So he goes the way he said a few other things. I can't remember, some really nice things. And he goes, but one thing my mom has is a little bit of a temper. And I do. I have a temper. So, but it takes a lot for me to get to that point. So
Hmm.
I can put it off and ignore and da 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 for only so long. And then all of a sudden I'm done. Okay. It's like fireworks.
Yes.
He goes, and she goes, oh, really? So how do you tell when she's, at that? He goes, just watch her because she starts stamping her leg, her foot. So if she's standing at a counter and she's getting PO'd by someone behind the counter, the foot starts going. And then I know right then and there, she's about ready to blow a gasket. And it's true. I've noticed that after the fact that when things are happening, my foot bounces.
That's awesome. It's really intuitive of him to
So,
notice that.
but then everybody else says, oh, yeah, do you remember that time? And Connor, do you remember that time, Nan, when we were at the dollar store? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
You need to control your foot.
Oh, so yeah, there you go. How that is an inspirational story, I don't know, but what the heck? Why do we keep going off of the train tracks here?
Because this is who we are.
Okay.
This is just who we are. We try really hard to have a topic and to stay on
They
topic, but we
can't.
just can't. Okay.
So the
So
listeners are probably like, okay, how did we get here? Were we not just talking about something inspirational? They're so confused right now. Well, you know what, friends? We are too.
perpetual. Just join us on this journey as we just
Go with the
hop
flow.
along.
Be happy. Your inner self says, don't worry, they'll get back on track.
Maybe. It
Oh
was
my
inspiring.
gosh.
Okay, but that's inspiring that your son was had a lot of positive but you know what's
He did.
crazy to me? And I hate this. I hate this about just I guess the human mind is that we remember the negative far more than remember the positive.
Everybody does.
Like you remembered the negative thing he said about you, but he preceded that with all these positive things that you have no clue what they were.
Oh no, I remember what he said. I'm just not going to go off on it because that
Oh,
I don't like being I don't puff myself up like that. You know that.
I do.
I just don't. But
You're not puffing up,
he
but he
said a
puffed
lot
you up.
of really nice things and everybody agreed, and then Megan's got to pipe in there and, oh yeah, do you know what she does for me? And like all kinds of stuff. So,
Look at you.
there was more to this, and I do remember it, but I remember that because I found it so funny that I actually did that and then recognized it afterwards. Like,
That's
yeah,
funny.
in situations.
So what I do, and I know I do this when I'm starting to get really agitated, I'll do like this. It's like my body's way of just like, okay, you got this, like you're fine. But my whole like, oh, it just starts
Let's get
happening.
this neck and fighting
Oh,
fighting
it
motion.
does. I'm like, it's like, okay, do I want to fight or do I want to retreat? And I don't want to have confrontations. If people would just behave,
Yeah.
it would not happen. But people are people. So
Yeah.
I don't know song. Anyway, so I have a whole lot of stories, but we're also running out of time, which we still have not practiced our goodbye.
Oh yeah.
Bye. No, I'm only
Bye.
kidding. We're done. Uh, no, I mean, there are, and I know people have kindness to me when I got into that really bad wreck when I was pregnant with Heather. All these
Hmm.
truckers pulled over and they were helping, and you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think people are, I think everybody has it in them to be kind.
Yes.
And again, it goes back to what you said. It's a choice.
It's
It's a choice to be kind.
yeah.
But why does it take like an event to be kind or a tragedy or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why can't I, and I'm just going to say me, why can't I just be generally kind when I'm out in public?
Well, you are kind.
Well, I know, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too harsh on myself.
I think that's it. And that's what I said to you before. Like you don't remember because most people don't remember all the kind gestures that they do and how inspiring you are to other people. And like I get told all the time about that kind of stuff, but
Yeah,
I don't believe it of myself because
you don't see yourself that way.
I don't see myself that way. Even though I know in my heart of hearts that I try to be a kind person, I try to go out in the world and be, you know, smile on my face and not a frown and that kind of stuff. But then I I don't know whether it's when I turned a certain age, but I got no patience for people anymore.
That's my
So
problem is the
it
patience
I find
factor.
it more difficult to do that what I call fake smile out in the wild anymore
But
because
go ahead.
it's just yeah, it's just not there. Like I don't feel it. Is that it's I shouldn't say that because
No,
I still feel kindness and I feel like I want to be that way, but I
but you
don't
know what
know.
I've realized too, now that I'm talking about this, when I start to get in my agitated, I don't have the patience, it's because they're being unkind,
Yes.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay, like we'll have the whole episode on pet peeves, but is if I'm walking into a building that doesn't
Yeah.
have automatic doors, okay, I have to open the door and I see someone that is coming right up behind me, I will hold the door open.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a situation to where I'm the one that's coming up and someone's going in and they just shut the door, automatically I'm just like, the world are just full of buttholes.
See,
Like,
and
and
that's it.
I'm agitated. So that agitation is carrying on into the building and then everything starts aggravating me, which is a
See,
ridiculous thing because
when
I
that
just
happens to me, I'll open the door, like I'll grab the door as it's slamming in my face and I'll go, "Why, thank you." And they'll look at me like, "What? What?
you know, I'm just like ugh.
You're an idiot."
Or
I
when
don't.
people are just like Costco is the worst. Why do I even go to that store? I just can't. Anyway, that is a whole nother podcast. Stephanie and Costco and her feelings about people in Costco. They're not all bad. They're just rude. There's just people are not the same. They're just
Yeah.
not. And I think that affects how I perceive that I'm not as kind as I should be,
Hmm.
is because all of the rudeness just makes me just not want to be kind. Like it's a black cloud. It's just I
Yeah.
feel like it's just like, ugh, why am I here? I don't want to be here. Everyone's so rude.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Go home, go home. Why did you come
Yeah.
out? Why did you people?
Well, it's so funny because when I worked downtown Toronto, I used to joke with everybody that, you know, I think that there should be a law in place that if you're of a retirement age, you shouldn't be allowed on the streets during business hours. You driving, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
If you want to drive, you wait until everybody's home from their work, and then you can go out and drive your 22 miles an hour,
You can piddle.
right? But now that I am a retired person, I'm like, screw you. I'm going out and I'm going to drive 22 miles an hour,
I'm gonna piddle right in front of you.
right?
And there's Stephanie getting aggravated, and
There you
there's that
go.
whole cloud.
Lori's foot stomping, the whole shabam is happening.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pray.
Now
I
you're gonna
need
have to
prayer.
pray.
I have to pray, man. After this, it is a choice, though.
Dear
Okay,
Lord,
yes,
give
it
me
is.
strength to go through this day.
Yes,
Amen.
give me strength to deal with people, and the
Yeah.
Lord just like stay home.
Yeah. Don't go out,
Don't go out.
Stephanie.
Don't do it. Don't leave. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So, our next topic as we wrap things up is going to be environmental issues, facts, and thoughts.
Yes. So if anybody has some environmental issues,
Issues that you want to talk about.
leave us a comment.
Yes, please.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how we get way off topic.
There's Lorie rubbing her nose. I
Okay,
can't
maybe.
even. Okay. Goodbye. Is that a hard bye? Should we say a soft bye? Goodbye, everyone. We will miss you.
Bye.